అందరూ మ్యూట్ లో పెట్టాలి. ప్లీజ్ మ్యూట్ కాల్ కిషోర్ బాబు, సురేంద్ర. సార్ జానీ గారు నా మాట వినిపిస్తుందా?
మాట్లాడద్దు.
జానీ గారు నా మాట వినిపిస్తుందా?
అది
వినిపిస్తుందండి.
Yes, sir, we are hearing.
మీకు హోస్టింగ్ ఇచ్చాను.
Sir, can we start class?
Yes, can we start? I'm able to start the class, but I can able to hear most of them are not in mute. Why the people are talking like they're not in mute? Please make sure you're in mute. Please. Okay. Okay, can you see the people? Can all of you can see this slide, right? Personal protective equipment. Here today we are going to discuss regarding this personal protective equipment, and which is in 106 paper. Okay, you will definitely get some questions regarding this personal protective equipment. You just wait. There are people waiting. Okay. And coming to this personal protective equipment, you may take it very simple. You can like you may think that this personal protective equipment is just hat or jacket, which high visibility jacket, hand gloves. But the applicability of personal protective equipment should be well like you should have to understand where and when to apply the, or where and when to wear appropriate PPE. Okay, so here I took this from the OSHAs, and this is more relevant to the real-time PPE usages. Okay, so what does the definition mean? Devices used to protect workers from injury or illness resulting from contact with chemicals, radiological, physical, electrical, mechanical, or any other workplace hazards. Okay, there are different kinds of personal protective equipment, especially when you're seeing that in different companies. Like if you're working in foundries, you'll be having different the common personal protective equipment are hard hats. If you're working in foundries, or if you're working in other companies like where dock is there, otherwise if you're working in the companies like which deals with underwater activities, okay, the equipment differs. Okay, so here he's saying that the definition itself says that devices used to protect the workers from injuries or illness resulting from contact with chemicals, radiological, physical, or electrical, mechanical, or other workplace hazards. So what do you mean by hazard? The basic thing is anything that has potential to cause harm. What is hazard, Andy? What is hazard? Anything that has potential to cause harm. So a person, when he is exposed to the environment, when he is exposed to different working activities in his workplace, okay, there are many hazards. That hazards can be classified into many types. Like then they can be chemical, they can be radiological, okay, physical, electrical, mechanical, okay, or biological also. So from that he has to be protected. So we will use PPE, that's called personal protective equipment, and PPE is always used and the priority is given at the last. Okay, after engineering controls, after isolation, substitution, the PPE is after reduction, the PPE should be used. PPE, always remember, personal protective equipment is not a prime solution for the worker or employees in any case. Personal protective equipment is the last control measure. Okay, in the hierarchy of controls, first we'll go with engineering controls, then substitution, then isolation, okay, then reduction, and then PPE. Okay, fine. The need of PPE and types of PPE used based on hazards present each situations must be evaluated independently. That's called risk assessment. Okay, that's different thing. Some caveats. Caveat is nothing but conditions, and PPE used as a last resort. We already discussed. PPE is used as a last resort. Means
Sir,
after
what is this AR, sir? AR 328 something you told me. What is AR?
Here it is the series, and series AR 385 is the OSHA series, which represents the PPE. If
Oh, okay, sir.
okay, we no need to consider that entity, because we in industrial safety I took it as this one as a reference so that you can understand well. No need to write this AR.
Sir, can we download this, sir? AR 385 series.
Yes, you can do. You can search it in our net. If you type OSHA series AR 385, you can have a this PPT. Otherwise, you can have this PPT on SlideShare also. SlideShare. If you have a LinkedIn account, you can download it from SlideShare. Okay. So PPE used as a last resort. The use of PPE signifies that the hazard could not be controlled by other means such as administration controls, engineering control, or industrial hygiene controls. See, for example, if we are wearing a hard hat, okay. So, okay, I'd like to ask you one question. Can anyone know, like, anyone can say me what is the weight, what is the minimum weight or standardized weight of helmet, safety helmet?
450 grams. 450
Okay.
grams.
300 grams.
450 grams.
Okay. Yes. 450. I've like 400 or 450, sir.
Yeah, 450.
400, sir. 400.
400 is what I remember. Okay, fine. As per our regulations. Fine. Very good. Very good. I like very nice replies. I want few people to mute the call. I want few people to mute the call. Mute your calls. Simba Sampath, Amit Mishra, please mute your calls. And I don't know, 766 822 86. Mute your call. Okay. I'm not the host. I'm not able to mute the calls. Okay, fine. So the PP, if you are wearing the helmet, what does it mean? It means that at the ending, at the end, after taking engineering controls, after taking substitution, isolation, administrative controls, anything can go wrong. Okay, so to protect the employee and worker from the last risk, okay, the PPE is used. Okay, fine. So this is what the hierarchy of controls. You can have a look at it. See, first design. Design means engineering process. Okay, engineering control. Okay, leave about the heading. Okay, this is the hierarchy of controls. Fine. So hierarchy of the controls, in the sense, these are few which are referring to hierarchy of controls. Okay. So design. In the design, first you have to see in the design stage, can the hazard can be removed from the process. If not, if cannot be removed, then substitution. If it can,
Sorry,
please tell me.
I would say design and remove hazard from process. It would called as a elimination method.
Yes.
And local exhaust ventilation is the engineering control.
Which one, sir?
If
Yes,
I am
yes,
not wrong.
yes, sir. Yes. That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. And here, when the design remove is elimination, I completely agree. When it is completely removing, we have to take it as an elimination. Okay. And substitution, we are like, if it that a particular situation, a particular mission is there, we cannot remove it, but we can substitute it with a by another means, like by adding the exhaust, by adding silencers, or by substituting with other power reduction sources. Okay, that comes under substitution. Okay, where did you say that engineering, sir? Where it is here, like engineering,
Local exhaust ventilation.
Local exhaust ventilation. Yes. Okay.
It's engineering.
Yes, that can be in an engineering control, and normally engineering controls are always being at the front end. Okay, I was like when saying the design, I just directly went to the engineering controls. I'm very sorry for that. And here local exhaust ventilation at source, and it's also at some extent it is an engineering control, and also it can be a substitution also, not substitution, it can be a process modification. It can be a process modification also. So here we have a different methods in which we can reduce some sources which have a impact to the employees or work environment. Okay, so coming to the hierarchy of controls, what is the process, and we have to first is elimination. What sir told them, first is elimination, and second is reduction. First is elimination, reduction,
Elimination, substitution,
isolation,
engineering control, administration control, and then PP.
that okay. That those are hierarchy of controls. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Those are hierarchy of controls. This is I'd like to say the system like process is what I follow usually. So like this is called first is elimination, reduction, isolation, control, and PP. Okay, so whatever you said is like elimination. In elimination you can take it as like it is a reduction process or design on the design process, or you can have a from engineering control also. In the design process you can have engineering controls. Okay, so here when here it can be here in design it is written as remove hazard from the process. This one you can take it as elimination, and at this point of time at the beginning there will be always engineering control. Okay, so log like the, see what he is saying, isolate the process from worker. In order to provide him the providing him with a lot of personal protective equipment or covering his face, he can isolate means the process can be separated. The machine can be inside, usually in coromandel or usually in some blast furnace. What it happens, the worker will be isolated from the process. They will be inside the consoles, and the other process will be outside the console, right? So in the same way, in fertilizer companies, lot of drums will be rotating and all. So what happens? They in order to protect the engineers from the gases like ammonia, sulfuric acid, okay, and the mix, the gases which are coming out, they'll be inside the console. They'll be with electrical consoles and all controls based on the control systems, and they will be isolating themselves from the process. Wet method, if a environment which consists of residue like gypsum, okay, every fertilizer industry has a residue like gypsum, or our coal. In Vizag we export iron ore and we import coal. Okay, we import coal from Africa and also some Indonesian companies. We export our iron ore to different Germany, Switzerland, and also US. Also, the ships will go from here. So when this kind of companies, when they deal with this kind of coal, iron ore, and all, due to this during summer, this peak time, okay, they get dry and they fly all over the place. So to reduce that, we use a wet method. Wet method is sprinkling or watering the area or spraying water by different means. Okay, in our Vedanta, Vedanta company, fine. In Vedanta company, they'll use a bowser in which they'll carry the water and it will be spraying water all around the area. Even though it will develop the humidity, it will make the air humidified so that the dust will not fly. Local exhaust ventilation at source. So what is this local exhaust ventilation? If for example the mission is emitting CO2, okay, so if you can arrange some ventilation in such a way that the CO2 will not come and spread inside the work area, so it comes under local exhaust ventilation. It's one of the engineering control. Okay, dilution ventilation area. What do you mean by dilution? If for example H2S, okay, H2S is there, like please mute it all. If you can dilute the concentration of any chemical or any gas with the fresh air. Okay, what it happens? It will reduce its concentration. It is also dilution, ventilation. Good housekeeping is also a good control. Fine. These are what, okay, the use of PPE signals that hazards still exist in the workplace. Unprotected workers in the same area will be exposed. Failures of PPE can means the worker will be exposed. PPE can combine with other control. So here what he is saying, even the use of PPE, okay, the hazards still exists. Means if it doesn't mean that if you are with good personal protective equipment, nothing will happen. Sometimes what happens, the improper usage of PPE is also a hazard. Okay, that one has to keep in mind. Just wait. Fine. So I would like to ask one question. Like, can anyone say what are the problems with PPE? Okay, there are many advantages. What can be the problems with
Uncomfort.
PPE? Okay,
Uncomfort.
discomfort. Yes,
Yes, sir, discomfort.
discomforts, uncomfortable, uncomfort. People can
More weight.
Irritation,
yes, overweight.
irritation,
Irritation.
itching,
Irritation, weight.
Yes, irritation, itching, and also a person cannot suffocation if in case of
suffocation. Yes, sir.
Suffocation problem is
yes, not suitable to the particular head. The people who are with turbines, since they cannot wear helmets. Okay, if you are with more beard and all, you cannot keep the respiratory protective equipment in a proper way. Okay, that all can be wearing PPE with lot of stress, or in wearing PPE and working in hot environment can cause excess sweat. Okay, can happen. So see, these are the few in which you can see all the parts where apron is used for. Aprons or reflective jackets. Okay, they are called high visibility reflective jacket. Okay, high HVRJ. Okay, high visibility reflective jackets. Ear protection. Okay, ear protection consists of ear muffs and ear plugs. Okay, ear goggles and shield, face shield. Okay, respiratory we have in detail. I'll let you know. We have Baska air purifier and all. Footwear we have gumboots. Okay, full shoes, blouses, and different types of blouses will be used. See, PPE. So if you are asked about PPE, you have to write these points. Definitely, you cannot write it as if PPE helmet jacket, that it should not be written. What is the you have to write it like head protection. Okay, under head protection you can write hard hats. Okay, hard hats with the face shield. Okay, eye and face protection you have to mention. Hearing protection, respiratory protection, arm and hand protection, foot and leg protection, protective clothing. This is the standard way of writing about PPE. Okay. Suri Babu, I think you're listening and you're sleeping and listening. That's not fair. Have to sit. Okay, fine. So, fine. What happened? Head protection. Okay. These are different kinds of hard hats, safety helmets. Okay. This is the simple description. These are eye protection, fully closed and half closed. Fine. See here, impact protection, grinding, drilling. Okay. Fine. Grinding. Sorry. Eye protection, impact protection. So what do you mean by impact protection? So eye protection is classified into few types like impact protection, chemical hazards, radiation protection. In this way, all the hazards are included. Okay, impact protection, grinding and drilling. So what happens in terms of during grinding and drilling? What is the main hazard?
Hand crushing.
Okay, they're related to
So material may fall to
Right.
eye.
Okay, yes, that we
Tips
have
Impact protection.
tips are
Flying
abrasive.
flying ob foreign
yes,
object
flying objects, flying
and
for foreign objects. Yes,
and splinters also, sir.
yes, that's the accurate answer. That's very nice, very nice. And we have discussed regarding this mechanical hazards. What is the we discussed like what are the standard mechanical hazards like ENT and ICE. I told you to remember ENT hospital or ENT doctor. You remember what do you mean by ENT means entanglement. Okay, ENT
And
ANGLEMENT entanglement. That is first primary mechanical hazards. ENT. Oh, ICE. I means impact. C means contact. E means ejections. Ejections are the hazards which are involved in grinding and drilling. Ejections means one of sir is saying like the flying of foreign object. That is the standard way of representing the hazard. Okay, that comes under the last hazard, ejection. Wherever you go in the world, whatever work you do, all the things falls under only these 4 types of hazards in mechanical mechanical safety. Or when you are going into the mechanical equipment or mechanical safety, you have to uh, keep in mind regarding ENT and ICE. Is it entanglement hazard? ENT entanglement. E. Okay, I impact. Impact means some rotating equipment came in uh, had an impact with you. Okay, contact means you go the person goes and came in contact with that particular surface, hot surface maybe. Okay, ejection means the pieces coming out. Fine. So impact protection, grinding and drilling. For impact protection, they'll be using hard eye gear or full face uh, protection. Okay, fine. Chemical hazards, parts washers, spray painting. Okay, when they when they use like when they wash the parts of a mechanical items or any maintenance work is being done, that chemicals may come in contact with the eyes. So they will use, they will use the PPE or they will use the glasses which are completely close to their eyelashes. Grinding and drilling, they'll use the glasses which are very hard in nature. Right? Spray painting. Spray painting also dangerous because it involves lot of chemicals. Radiation protections. What do you mean by radiation? Okay, radiation is the wave or the light intensity of a light which has larger wavelength. Okay, light how the light is calculated, how the strength of the light is calculated by its wavelength. So radiation means here we will use welding goggles. So welder's goggles means which has a black color coat on it and which will reduce the radiation effect. Laser goggles, UV protected goggles, and also infrared protection goggles. Okay, how the high protection should be selected. So you can in exam they'll ask like we have discussed regarding what are the challenges faced or what are the challenges faced while using PP. You can write few, and they may also ask in how in selection process of PP what are the things you have to consider. Okay, when safety glasses are used to protect the eyes from flying objects, what we have discussed. So chemicals splash, you have to protect against from the fluids. Face shield provide high level of protection. Okay, yeah, if there is, even though after using the safety glasses and chemicals splash, okay, so if even though if you feel that the intensity of ejections is high and if you have to protect it from them, we have to use the face shield. This is how the face shield will be. Okay. Okay. These are hearing protection. Okay, these are those are ear. These are called earplugs, and these are called ear muffs. Okay. So here, as we discussed a couple of days back, noise-induced hearing loss. Okay, means what? Deafness. What is the hazard of excessive noise? What is the hazard of excessive noise? Hearing disability or hearing impairment. Okay, we have to write hearing disability or hearing impairment. Okay, so you have to, like, if what is the main hazard here? Noise induced hearing loss. What do you mean by noise induced hearing